Hey to my beautiful peeps. Today I am specifically aiming to address all of my ladies, all of my women who are in the process of a divorce, or who are separated from your partner, or you've been divorced for a while, or you've had a breakup a while ago. And the challenge now that you are having is that you have not been able to let go of the relationship or let go of the person. And there are kids involved. And what's happening right now is that your kids are suffering or are bearing the consequences of the actions of you and your ex being unable to resolve the issues. Now, let me tell you from experience, when you do not resolve the issues that you have with your ex, your underlying issues are going to create conflict, because what happens is you will find yourself bad mouthing your ex in front of your kids, or to your kids. Actually, your kids will be asking, where's mommy or where's daddy? And then you're going to find yourself saying, you know what, your father doesn't care or your mother doesn't care. And you know that you're lying, right? You know that you have beef with your ex and you are refusing to let go of your ex. So now what you're doing is you're trying to create conflict. You want the child to be on your side more than the ex's side. But you know what? Let me tell you something. The best thing that you can do for your child or for your children is forgive your ex. I don't care what he did or she did. I don't care. I don't care. All right? Let me tell you, I have been there. I've been there. My first divorce was horrendous. It was horrible. It was horrible. It was so horrible that it got to a point where my life fell apart. And my first ex, he ended up helping me out with a place and stuff, right? It was horrible. It was so horrible. I promise you, it was so horrible. Because what happened was he ended up proposing to me again, and he wanted us to get back together again. And when I refused the proposal, things turned very, very pear-shaped, right? His whole demeanor of trying to help me, it then switched to he just, I don't even want to talk about it, right? But then I just want to get a point across to my peeps going through these things. You know what? It happens. Shit happens. Life goes on, guys. Take it with a pinch of salt. If you want to know what that feels like, just take a pinch of salt and put it on your tongue, right? Taste the salt. It's not bitter. It's just very sour, right? It's not like ACV. It's not like apple cider vinegar. It's bitter. It leaves a bitter aftertaste on your mouth, on your tongue. Salt, on the other hand, it's just bitter when it goes in. Once you've swallowed it, it's gone. The taste is even dissolved in your mouth, right? I'm not asking you to forget what the person did to you. What I'm asking you to do, for the sake of the children, if there are no children involved and you have no ties with each other, then please do as you please. The only reason I'm asking you to do this is because there are children involved. And when there are children involved, it's less about yourself. It's less about your partner. Now it's all about the children. You don't want the children to be angry. You don't want them to end up hating or becoming resentful because you've said some things. Let the children learn about the other parent on their own. Let me tell you something. The parent is bound to reveal their true colors. This has nothing to do with you. You don't need to be going and telling the child, your mother is like this, your father is like this, or your father did this and your father did that. Time out, guys. Cut it out. Just you keep your chin up. All right? Keep your chin up. It has nothing to do with you. Whether the father is or he isn't a 131 TC1 minus 1. Whether he's a that or whether he's just a prick, a thorn that just pokes at you like a cactus. Have you ever touched a cactus before in your entire life? I'm sure as a kid you must have had that experience where you just went all hands in and you just grabbed that cactus thinking it's going to be fine, and then you just found that you have like 5,000 thorns in your hand, right? I don't care if that's your ex. As long as you have kids, please, I'm just asking you to forgive them. The only way you're going to move on and you're going to have your kids have a stable relationship with the other parent is by you forgiving this person. I don't care if that person doesn't forgive you. Let them reveal themselves on their own. Okay? You do you, my darling. Do you. Do not try to do the other person. Let the other person reveal their true colors on their own. This has nothing to do with you. Everything that you are doing moving forward now is all about forgiveness. You don't know how to forgive? Let me tell you how to forgive. You take a blank piece of paper. Yeah, you take a blank piece of paper. Sometimes it needs to be a very big. Sometimes it has to be a very big blank piece of paper because sometimes you have a lot of things to write down. Because the person hurt you very badly and now you're not letting go of what the person did to you. So now, hey, sometimes you even need a double page. Yeah, there's a double page. And I'm saying double page, that means it's on both sides. You see? It's on both sides. Right? Yeah. Do it as much as you have to and as much as you can. Write down everything the person ever did that hurt your feelings. Because remember, these are your feelings that you need to control. You need to regulate your own self. You don't need to control what the person is or who the person is. You need to take your feelings and you need to say, okay, you know what? When the person took me out on a date, our first date, then he was busy looking at this fly-looking sexy chick right across the table. That's got nothing to do with you. If your person is insecure and if your person has a lack and an inadequacy and he decides to look at everything that's wearing a skirt, it's got nothing to do with you, my dear. If nobody ever told you that cheating is not because the lack is in you and the lack is in the person that's cheating, then listen to me, all right? The lack, the inadequacy, it comes from the person that's cheating, right? I've been there. The person continues cheating, not because you are nothing, not because you are invaluable, not because you are worthless, but because the person has a lack. The person has a past trauma that they have never dealt with, all right? That's why you need to forgive. You need to be the one that forgives them, okay? And the way to do it is to take the piece of paper and you write down everything that ever hurt your feelings. It could be 10 years, it could be 20 years, it could just be 5 years. But there are things that the person did that hurt your feelings, right? This is about your feelings, right? You're taking control of your feelings. Don't give your feelings power over the situation, whereby you let your feelings dominate and tell you what to do while you are feeling a certain way. Because 5 minutes down this journey, you're not going to be feeling the same way, all right? You're not going to be feeling the way that you felt 3 seconds ago or last month or last week or last year for that matter. Your feelings don't ever remain the same. They are always changing, all right? And it doesn't matter even when it comes to depression. You can be depressed. Where does depression come from? Depression comes from your expectation of what other people think about you. That's what I think. That's completely what I think. I think that's where depression comes from. Depression comes from an over-analysis of what somebody else is thinking about you as a person. Now, if you cut that out... Okay, so I was saying, if you take depression and you completely remove your analysis or your identity behind somebody else's belief about you. Remove that, right? You give your emotions and your feelings less control over any situation. But as long as you always put somebody else's view in front of yours, where you're sitting with yourself and you're saying, "Oh, I wonder what's Maxine going to think about me when I go to visit. I wonder what she's going to say about my hair." Assume you didn't wash your hair today, right? And now you're going to the shop. You have no idea who you're going to bump into. And if you're not like me and you don't really give a damn, and you it's already part of your morning routine, you already wake up in the morning and you comb your hair, right? And it's like this because it's already combed in the morning, right? You don't really give a damn because you are already within, right? There are a lot of people that I've met. They'll be looking at me and saying, "Oh, is my hair fine? Oh, do you think I look fine to be out?" Guys, let's stop worrying about the world is already dramatic. Let's just think for ourselves. Let's just think for ourselves. Let's just control our own feelings and our own emotions, and let's help our children to be at ease with both parents. I'm not asking you to make love to the person that you separated, that you parted with, or that you divorced from. All I'm asking you to do is to forgive the person, right? Forgive the person and give your child the opportunity to know both the parents. That's you and that's your partner, right? And whether you like it or not, you are still partners until your kids are grown, old. Until your kids grow old and they're old enough to be independent on their own. As long as your kids are like mine, who are very young, still at this stage in their lives, and you don't walk them through this entire process, and all you want to do is you just want to vent and you just want to throw your tantrums and let your kids know exactly how you feel about their father, then you know what? You're doing no justice to the well-being of your kids. You are hurting them more than anything else. Please, all I'm asking you to do is forgive your partner. Now, here's your paper. Write the way that you feel, or the way that the person made you feel, and how the person hurt your feelings. You write it down, okay? And after writing it down, please burn the piece of paper, right? Remember how when your kids were growing up, then they always had fancy letters and notes. When they can't write, then they draw you beautiful. These are the masterpieces of my kids. And I keep them very close to me, because when I'm mad at them, then I have to remember these moments where they actually took the time to draw these pictures for me and to give it to me, or leave it silently on my desk, because sometimes I don't know that I've got a whole file full that I have to show them when they grow older, because they think that I throw them away. So I've got to prove to them that I'm not throwing them away. Why do you keep those letters from your kids? It's because it means it's got love attached to it, and it means a lot to you, right? Now, when you write down stuff that's hurt your feelings, right? The reason you burn it is to take that feeling, that hurt, that anger, you take it to a different matter. When you burn it, you take it to a different form of matter. And when you look at the ashes afterwards, it's gone to a different form. You've let it go. There's just something that releases. There's like a weight off your shoulders. Do it. Do it for yourself. If you don't believe what I'm saying to you, do it for yourself and test my theory, right? Act on it, basically. You don't just sit in front of watching my video and then say, I'm talking crap. I'm talking like a mampara. I have no idea what I'm talking about, because the hurt is still there. Yes, the hurt will still be there. You know why? Because you got to do it a few times. You got to do this a few times. There are underlying feelings. There are feelings from your past relationships. There are feelings from your childhood. There are feelings that you are feeling right now from a sound or from a scent that come from your childhood that you are still holding on to, that you are still harboring right now, that you are going to take with you into your future relationships, all because you don't know how to let things go. This is your lesson on letting go. Let it go, forgive them, move on, right? Live your life, because you're still living life. Life is still, it has to be lived. The cats have to be fed, the dogs have to be fed, the kids need to be fed, they have to be bathed, water has to be running, electricity has to be bought. There's still a whole lot of things that have to be done. Rent has to be paid, right? There are a lot of things that one has to do in order for life to continue, right? And when you harbor these ill feelings, it takes a longer time for you to reach your destination of your goal. I hope this video helps you. And I hope that somebody out there feels motivated and feels encouraged by what I've said. That was the reason for me posting this. Love you loads. Ciao.